So, hi everybody. I wanted to do this video and kind of tell you about something that happened to us, and it's kind of disturbing. So most of you know Edna, she's Filipino. She's from the Philippines over here. She's a teacher on an exchange program type of a thing, and of course I'm an American citizen. So we got married in January. The next day, I had booked a cruise for our honeymoon. Now, we went to the cruise line, and this is through Royal Caribbean. Went through. She had her passport with her valid visa. We had all our documentation, and so when we got there, we had taken an Uber. We get down there, and they are asking for her DS 2019 form. You normally don't need to have taking a flight or anything like that. You don't need that form. So we were confused. We spoke to them. They're like, no, we need this form. We looked. She looked to see if she had it in her email. She didn't. So luckily I got down there early enough, and so we ordered Ubered all the way back home, picked up her DS 2019 form, Ubered all the way back. When we got there, we said, okay, here we go. No issues. Here's the form. Now they had an issue because her travel authorization portion on that DS 2019 form hadn't been signed.
None shall pass.
So they said, look, all you gotta do is call your sponsor and have them send over a travel authorization. So we called her sponsor, back and forth with them, probably about an hour. They ended up sending a travel authorization letter, signed and everything, asking that the cruise line allow her on the cruise, that she's authorized, she's a teacher, she's over here, her visa is valid, everything's valid. There should be no issues with her going on this cruise. They wouldn't accept this. Now, we were confused. Even her sponsor was confused.
I am so confused.
So we put the sponsor on speakerphone. In situations like this, where the DS 2019 form isn't signed, it's a Sunday, so there's no way they can get the actual form itself signed. So this travel authorization letter is a legal letter allowing and giving authorization for Edna to travel. And again, her visa is valid. She has no problem with her visa. She has a valid visa. They wouldn't accept it.
You shall not pass!
And we sat there. We talked to several different people. Talked to managers there. I even had them pull the manager off of the ship and talk to the manager from the ship to try to get them, to do something here for us. But they wouldn't, and that was that. So they said, so I says, okay, well, what do I do about my money? I had refundable tickets. They said to call customer service. I tried calling customer service there from the cruise line, but it had like a 2 or 3 hour wait. I mean, at this point, my wife is crying. She's upset. This is our honeymoon. She wanted to be able to go on this beautiful cruise for our honeymoon. So we end up taking an Uber back home again. So the next day I call Royal. This is the situation. I sent them all the documents, sent them everything, that we were sent by the sponsor, so they see that we did provide the information. And they're like, well, you didn't buy the travel insurance, so we're not going to give you a refund.
No! God, no!
And I was like, well, I had refundable tickets. I don't have to get the travel insurance. I had refundable tickets. That's the whole reason why I bought refundable tickets, is because they're refundable.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
If there's an issue. And like, no, we're not going to give you money back.
No.
Like, okay, let me speak to a manager. Wouldn't let me speak to a manager.
No way, Jose.
I says, no, I want to speak to a manager. This is not right. I've used Royal Caribbean probably 5 or 6 times. I've sailed on Royal Caribbean. I've never had this kind of treatment from Royal. And they're like, nope, you can't speak to a supervisor. I says, that's crazy. Why can't I not speak to a supervisor? So that went on for about 30 minutes until finally they moved me over to the escalations department.
Next!
Went through everything all over again with escalations department, explained everything in escalations department, explained to them, what went on, showed them the documents that we did actually send. They refused to give us any refund. I says, all right, so how about we compromise? I'm willing to accept a credit. How about you give me a credit for a future cruise? Something, that way you guys aren't losing any money, and neither am I.
No, never.
They wouldn't give me a future credit for a future cruise either. That's crazy. I mean, this is like, $1,500. I can't just lose $1,500 like that. I just got married. This was my honeymoon, completely ruined. I asked to speak to the manager in escalations. No.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
We won't let you speak to a manager or a supervisor. That's crazy. How can I not speak to a supervisor? I've already talked to them. They're going to give you the same answer. I was like, I don't care what answer they're going to give me. I want to speak to them. They refused. And then she literally hung up on me.
Oh, Lord!
I am appalled. I've never experienced this poor of customer service, especially from a cruise line, Royal Caribbean. I mean, this is, customer service is their bread and butter. We are now out more than $1,500. Our entire honeymoon was ruined by Royal Caribbean. Sad to have to say that, but it's true. They didn't have to treat us like this. First of all, they should have allowed her on this with the travel authorization that we ended up providing. Their requirements was you needed a travel authorization from her sponsor. All right, get it, fine. We provided that. We gave them travel authorization. They still wouldn't accept.
You suck!
They wouldn't accept the letter. They wanted the actual DS 2019 form signed, and this was a Sunday. There was no way that they could have provided that. And so this emergency letter that they sent, which is signed by her sponsor, sufficient. In fact, the sponsor said that she could go to Zimbabwe if she wanted to with this, and there'd be no issues. So so even the sponsor was like, there's no reason why you should not be letting her get on this cruise. The sponsor was adamant, fighting for us. This is her sponsor saying. It just amazes me. And then even after the fact, with Royal just refusing to even give us a credit. I mean, credit towards a future cruise. It baffles my mind.
But I'm so confused.
How they can just have such poor customer service, even when we're trying to compromise. So I guess that's our first taste that we've gotten of some of the challenges that we're going to have with her being Filipino and here in the US. It's definitely an uphill battle. Please don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell button for notifications. We're going to be going to Manila, and from Manila we're going to Palawan. That'll be fun. I just wanted you guys to know a little bit of what's going on, a little bit of our challenges in the whole legal process. It's crazy. Royal Caribbean, shame on you, man.
You suck!
I can't believe that you would do this to someone. I'm an Anchor member.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I've been on your cruises for several times. I'm appalled. I don't understand how you could treat a customer that way.
You suck!
But thanks for listening. We'll see you on the flip side.